pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score!
Hello and welcome to Sports Jam for the week of May 18th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, highlights from regular season play in baseball, lacrosse, and track and field, plus a look ahead to the Class 3A softball playoffs.
And then later we'll meet a Park Center track and field and football standout, plus talk with new Pirates boys basketball coach James Ware.
And section team titles will be decided this week in boys tennis. Maple Grove is hoping to get back to state. The Crimson meeting Anoka in the Section 5AA quarterfinals. Number 2 doubles, Josh Hogue serving for Maple Grove. His partner Davis Pfaff puts away the volley for a Crimson point. Later, Hogue floats a perfect lob shot for the point as he and Pfaff win in straight sets. At 1 doubles, Justin Lau's return for MG sets up the volley winner by Jack Barr. Later, Liao serving, and Barr will put a sharp angle on this backhand volley for a point. Lau and Barr win 6-3, 6-2. Number 1 singles between Maple Grove's Charlie Adkins and Anoka's Pat Gallagher is a good match. Gallagher gets the point here on a cross-court forehand. But Adkins gets aggressive later in the set. He comes to the net for a backhand volley winner. Then on match point, Adkins with a forehand deep to the corner, and he locks up a straight set win as Maple Grove sweeps Anoka. They beat Centennial in the semis and meet Mounds View for the section title.
Before the softball playoffs, it was a matter of deciding conference titles. The Northwest Suburban title came down to the final league game. Maple Grove and Anoka each 12-0 in conference play coming in. No score into the bottom of the third. Sammy Sadler dropping a hit in to score Eleanor Schutte for a 1-0 lead for Maple Grove. Sydney Smith is up next. Her hit to left is misplayed, and it allows Sadler to score all the way from first base for a 2-0 Maple Grove lead. The fourth is a good inning for the Crimson. Aaron Rolls, base hit, scores Taylor Rosacker. Then Sadler delivers a hit the other way to score Kia Anderson. Sarah Michaels hit, scores 2 runs. The Crimson gets 7 to lead 9-0 after 4. And Sydney Smith tosses a no-hitter as Maple Grove wins the conference title for a 4th straight year, beating Anoka 10-0 in 5 innings.
Cooper's had a pretty solid season on the softball diamond while their rival Armstrong has struggled. The Robbinsdale district teams had their annual matchup under the lights at Robbinsdale's Spangers Park.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Sisters Sally Baker of Cooper and Leah Baker of Armstrong handling the national anthem. To the game, Armstrong gets on the board as Joyce Yellowhammer's flare is thrown away to first base. Maddie Clare scores and the Falcons go up 1-0 after 1. That lead holds up until the top of the 4th when Jessica Burns connects. Her long drive clears the fence and left. A 2-run shot, and it is 2-1 Hawks. And they are not done yet. Yvette Williams Upshur bloops one down the line and right, and it falls in to score Michelle Hansen. Cooper gets 5 runs in the 4th. They lead 5-1. And they put up 5 more in the 5th, capped by another homer from Burns, and this one's a grand slam. Pitcher Ray Biener allows just 1 unearned run for Cooper. They blast Armstrong 10-1.
It was just amazing. It was the best way to end my senior year regular season. We've been going on this straight incline lately, and I mean, that's where we're headed for sections. I have like the best coaches in the entire world, and I owe it all to them.
The section softball playoffs get underway this week for local Class 3A schools, including the state's top-ranked team, Maple Grove. Crimson are the number 1 seed in Section 5 3A. Rogers is seeded 2nd, followed by Spring Lake Park, Park Center, and Osseo. Champlain Park is 8th and Totino Grace 11th. First round games are Monday as Champlain Park, Osseo, and Totino Grace all play. The top 4 seeds receive byes and each host games Tuesday. The tournament moves to Rice Creek Park in Shoreview starting Thursday. In Section 6 3A, Hopkins is the number 1 seed. Buffalo is seeded 2nd, followed by Orono, Cooper, and Benilde St. Margaret's. Wayzata is the number 6 seed. Armstrong is 11th. Tournament play begins Tuesday with 2 rounds of play. Benilde plays the play-in game winner at 4, and then the winner faces Cooper at 6 o'clock. Hopkins will play either Minneapolis Southwest or St. Louis Park. Armstrong plays Wayzata at 4 with the winner meeting Orono at 6 o'clock. The entire tournament will be played at Miller Park in Eden Prairie.
Softball teams playing in the smaller enrollment classes started their section tournaments late last week. West Lutheran's the number 2 seed in Section 4A, and they face Mounds Park Academy Saturday in second round action. Top of the first inning, Mounds Park's Cami Osseo hits a pop to short right field that drops in for a hit. Abby Wold scores, and it's 2-0 Panthers after half an inning. Bottom of the first, Sydney Capel singles past second base and into center field. Lisa Hoffer scores. The Warriors add 3 more unearned runs in the inning. West is up 4-2 after 1. The Warriors break open a close game in the 5th. Afton Zemke singles to center. Carrie Price and Maria Tripp score as West Lutheran goes up 7-4 through 5. They add 4 more runs in the 6th, including 2 on this double to left center by Miranda Wahlberg. Ashley Bizey and Haley Volbrecht both score. West Lutheran goes on to beat Mounds Park Academy 11-4. However, West Lutheran lost to Columbia Heights in the winners bracket semifinals Saturday, falling 6-2 to the Highlanders. West is still alive in the double elimination tournament. They'll play Southwest Christian Tuesday to try to keep their season alive. Track and field athletes in District 279 love to go head-to-head with their district rivals. Park Center the site for this year's 3-school meet. Boys 4x200, a photo finish. Park Center's Chris Carter edges Osseo's Quadri Bossari by 1/100th of a second. Girls 100, Park Center's Georgia Toe is the winner. Her time 12.87 seconds. Boys 100, it's Carter again for Park Center, winning in 10.81 seconds. He also anchors the Pirates' winning 4x100 team. Girls 4x100, Maple Grove's Denitra Lee cruises to the win for the Crimson. They take it in 50.62 seconds. Girls 400, Park Center's Fashio Iobamadeli and Maple Grove's Lauren Scheidler race to the wire. Iobamadeli the winner in 59.34 seconds. Boys pole vault, Osseo's Jeremy Matson the winner, top vault 11 feet 6 inches. Here are the final team scores. The Osseo boys win with 76 team points. Maple Grove and Park Center finish with 51 apiece. Park Center's girls edge Maple Grove for the top score with Osseo third. At the Lake Conference Championships at Minnetonka last week, the host Skippers won the boys meet with 113.3 points. Wayzata finishes second, followed by Edina, Eden Prairie, and Hopkins. The Minnetonka girls win as well with Eden Prairie second. Then it's Hopkins third, Edina fourth, and Wayzata fifth. Congratulations to the Wayzata boys. They take the state true team title in Class 3A. Trojans roll to the win by a big margin over Stillwater and Eden Prairie. Trojans won 4 individual titles and 3 relays on the way to the win. Mounds View takes the girls' 3A True Team Championship. The Wayzata girls place 4th behind Mounds View, Lakeville South, and Minnetonka. Ruby Stauber won the 800 for the Trojans. The Totino Grace girls place 2nd in Class 2A True Team. And Jay, the Northwest Suburban Conference meet is this coming week at Coon Rapids High School.
Yeah, and all the schools have some athletes that'll fit in, get some good opportunities to win races and some of the field events as well. Stay with us. Coming up on Sports Jam, baseball and lacrosse, and later, meet a track and field star from Park Center.
The regular season in prep baseball is entering its final week.
Maple Grove needed a win over Anoka to keep their hopes of getting a piece of the Northwest Suburban Conference title alive. The conference finale for the Crimson as they host Anoka. The bunt is a big weapon for Maple Grove here. Charlie Horton gets the ball down and Isaac Collins slides in ahead of the tag. Still in the first inning, and Brett Schultz bunts for a base hit as Adam Brandt scores, and it's quickly 2-0 Crimson. They add another as Mason McMahon gets a hit despite a good effort by the right fielder. Horton scores. Maple Grove sets the tone early with 3 first-inning runs. In the second, Anoka with a suicide squeeze attempt. They miss the bunt, but Trent Palmer is safe anyway as he steals home. Anoka gets 2 in the inning to pull within 3-2. In the fourth, Maple Grove adds a run as Drew Lewis singles to score Lucas Burrington. That makes it 4-2 Crimson. And Schultz makes the lead stand up as he goes the distance, striking out 8. Maple Grove wins 4-2. However, Totino Grace beat Elk River to take the conference title.
was a nice one. It was big. We were in contention the whole year, and Anoka's been a good club for most of the year, so this was big for us, especially down the stretch, end of the season. It was a big win.
Also in baseball, Park Center hosted Hopkins in a non-conference game. Park Center trails 1-0, but that changes to that swing by Dan Hansen with a single to center. Greg Sunby and Andy Brown score. Park Center takes a 2-1 lead after an inning. But it's all Hopkins from there. In the second, Kobe Hare smacks it over the left fielder's head and out to the fence. Max Wiesner and John Cook score, and the Royals retake the lead. They're up 4-2 after 2. In the third, Cook drills a long drive to the base of the fence and left. Aaron Jensen is in to score to make it 5-2 Hopkins, and they are just getting started. Jensen caps an 8-run third inning with a 2-run single up the middle. Hopkins rolls to a 14-2 win in 5 innings.
Now to lacrosse, where it's been another good spring for both the Champlain Park girls and boys teams. The Rebels girls playing a tough one on the road at Coon Rapids. First half, and the Rebels' Hannah Krimble darts through traffic and goes high with her shot for a goal, tying the game at 1. From the free position, Sam Nolan scores. She leads the Rebels with 35 goals this year. It's 2-2. But Coon Rapids closes the first half strong. Bailey Ryan takes the pass and goes over her shoulder for the shot and goal. Cardinals lead for good, 4-3. Helen Nelson passes to Lily Hackett for the Cardinals' 8th goal of the half. They lead Champlain Park 8-3 at the half. Second half, and Tara Dahlman scores from the free position for Champlain Park to pull the Rebels within 3 goals, but Coon Rapids wins it. 11-9 is the final. The Champlain Park boys are closing in on the Northwest Suburban Conference lacrosse title. The unbeaten Rebels hosting Blaine. Second quarter, the game's tied at 1 when Blaine's John Hickey spins around a defender and beats the goalie high to give the Bengals the lead. The Rebels come back, and with just 9 seconds left in the half, Mason Schmidt finds Brody Sturm for the goal. Champlain Park goes up 4-2 at halftime. A big moment early in the third quarter after Nick Bundy's shot is saved. He is leveled here, and that results in a penalty. And on the ensuing man-up situation, Schmidt finds Justin Linderholm for his second goal of the game, make it 5-2 Rebels. Then off the faceoff, Blaine's Josh Hutton hits Tanner Jones, who scores his second of the game to get back within 5-3. But shortly after that, and still a man up, Schmidt finds a streaking Gage Monson for the score to make it 6-3 Champlain Park. Still in the third, Monson on a pass from Schmidt scores his 3rd straight, putting the Rebels up 8-3. They blow Blaine out 12-3, unbeaten on the season heading into this week.
The first state tournament of the spring rolled off last Friday. The 16th annual State Adaptive Bowling Tournament took place at Brunswick Zone in Brooklyn Park, featuring students from across the state. Singles, doubles, and team competition took place in both CI and PI divisions, similar as is used in the other adapted sports in Minnesota. And congratulations to Elena Chamberlain and Brock Shepard from the Anoka Hennepin Mustangs for winning the CI division doubles competition. I tell you, it's a full house at Brunswick Zone all day on Friday.
Yeah, the fun begins with all of the tournaments here, getting started with that one.
Straight ahead in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we'll meet a record-setting track and field athlete who's aiming for a state championship this spring. The state track and field meet is just a few weeks away now, and a Park Center High School senior has his eyes set on a state title. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet Pirates shot put and discus thrower Terrance Howard.
I put in a lot of time. I come in I practice on weekends and stuff too, and shot put. I'm really working on getting a lot better in discus. I'm always working on trying to get better.
The extra time at practice has paid off for Terrance Howard. The Park Center senior is in his 5th year of track and field, throwing discus and shot. The difference between now and then is night and day.
8th grade and 9th grade here, I definitely had no idea that a sport like this could, because when people think of throwing, they think of just really huge, massive guys throwing objects as far as they can. And I think really with discus especially, at these 5 years here and learning from such a great coach, and it's really helped me get the little mental aspects and little minute details of spinning and getting a discus and throwing discus well has really helped me, and I think I've learned a lot.
Terrance is a two-time state qualifier at state in the discus, and last year finished second at the Class AA meet. Earlier this season, he threw 191 feet in competition, best in the state this year by far, and a personal record for Terrance.
I mean, I've just been really working on trying to improve my spin more and more, and I mean, when I let go of the 191, I knew it felt good, but I didn't know it'd be a PR of almost 12 feet good. And when I heard that number, I just was super excited, because then, I mean, all the hard work I've been putting in this winter lifting and trying to get stronger has really been paying off.
According to this U.S. Track and Field News website that we found, it's the fifth best throw, the fourth or fifth best throw in the country so far this year. And I know for sure it's the best throw in Minnesota in the last 10 years. Nobody in Minnesota has thrown that far since like 2004.
Timing definitely helps, because the timing is off. It can translate to a throw being 20 feet to the right of the sector or 20 feet to the left of the sector, so timing is a big thing. Footwork is a huge thing. If your foot lands in a place 2 feet to the right, you could end up fouling, or you could end up having to contort your body just to even get the disc out of your hand right. And speed is definitely is another thing. I consider myself a thrower that has a great amount of speed. So if I can get a lot of speed in the ring and get timing at my feet right, then that really translates to a good throw.
As his distance in the event grew, the disc he uses changed to one now designed for more elite throwers like Terrance.
This one is the newer one, and it has more weight in the rim. So this one's for more advanced throwers that really don't have to worry about getting it out flat or anything. But since it has more weight in the rim, if you can really get it out there and spinning faster, it spins a lot better, and it catches the wind a little more, so you get a little more feet to it.
Here's Fine stepping up. Howard is going to wrap him up and drag him down.
Last fall, Terrance finished his high school football career as an all-conference defensive end for the Pirates. It was a great experience for he and his teammates.
Creating a winning culture here is definitely something we want to do, and this season was one of the best season I could have ever hoped for, and I think that definitely I'm going to come back and try to still be a part of that, because football is something I love, and having it at Park Center is something that everyone should enjoy, and I want to make the program as good as this whole community can.
But it is track and field that is guiding this high honor roll student to Marquette University in Milwaukee, something he couldn't have imagined a few years ago.
I mean, if you had told me 8th or 9th grade year that I'd be going to a school on a scholarship for track, I would have told you you're crazy, because I didn't know it would amount to all this. But going to Marquette, I especially loved it, and I love the coaches, and I love the atmosphere there. And when they offered me a scholarship, I almost didn't hesitate to accept it, because I mean, throwing is what I love, and I can't wait to do it at the next level with such a great organization and at such a great school.
A state record in the discus is not out of the question. A state championship is definitely Terrance Howard's goal. Terrance says he wants to study sports medicine at Marquette with the goal of receiving a degree in physical therapy. He'll compete in shot and discus this week for the Pirates at the Northwest Suburban Conference meet in Coon Rapids. Jay talks with Park Center's new boys basketball coach when Sports Jam returns.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. We're in the heart of the spring sports season, but we're going to talk winter sports today. One of 3 new boys basketball hires in the area, James Ware, the new head coach at Park Center High School, former Hopkins great and Texas Tech star. And James, congratulations. Tell me about getting this job. You know, how much excitement is there for you?
You know what? When I knew the job was open, it's kind of quite honestly a job that I've kind of had my eyes on a little bit. You know, my kids are in this program at the youth ages, and quite honestly, there's a lot of talent in this area. And quite honestly, you know, and any time there's talent, it's exciting to, you know, see if you can build something and try to put your own stamp on, you know, the talent in the area.
Is this good timing for you, too, in terms of your career? You've gotten into being a principal in the Hopkins district, but you've also been coaching with Coach Novak over at Hopkins. You've had some college experience. I mean, This seems like the right time for you to be a head coach, too, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I wasn't in a huge hurry. You know, timing is kind of everything. And you're right. I mean, it just kind of fit. You know, I'd been at University of Minnesota, Utah State, Santa Clara, at the Division I level, and then being a principal over in Hopkins, like you said, and coaching back with Kenny again, Kenny Novak, which has been great. But having John Hedstrom be the athletic director here, who I'm very familiar with, and also John Gronke, the principal here, just the whole thing kind of just fit.
What happens between now and the start of the season? You're here with the guys at an open gym, but what are some of the things that a head coach has to do to get ready for next year now?
Well, one, kind of figure out who's all in. Figure out who are the guys that you can kind of rely on. And the way we're kind of starting that process is just, having our open gyms, primarily, just our kids, Park Center kids, seeing who shows up, see who really wants to get better. And I think, when you talk about the success of a lot of programs around the state, it's really the thing that's consistent is their kids are in the gym working, and if you're going to be a Park Center Pirate, the bottom line is you're going to have to get in the gym, you're going to have to work hard. Quite honestly, from a basketball standpoint, that's what I know makes you a better player. You got to care about it, you got to want it, you got to want to do it. So we'll be having open gym, all summer long, spring and summer long. We'll be having basketball camps where guys will be working on their skills.
They're just a few years removed from being in a state championship game here, but no secret, last year was kind of a rocky one. Does that concern you at all as you kind of try and build into this next season?
Yeah. Well, Coach Powell is a good friend of mine, and he did a great job here of building this program. Matter of fact, our kids play together. They play traveling basketball together. They play AAU basketball together. And Gerard, he did a great job coming into a little bit of tough situation, being hired late. But you know what? I mean, it's just kind of, everything happens for a reason.
James, congratulations. Good to see you around working with the kids again in the area.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's James Ware, the new head boys basketball coach at Park Center High School. We'll wrap up Sports Jam in just a moment, but first a look at our plays of the week.
And the home of the brave.
Two pitch called strike three. Spring is here, and so are spring sports on Channel 12. Tune in for our full game coverage of the local teams in baseball, softball, plus girls and boys lacrosse.
And a liner, and Jellison snags it for the final out.
Watch all of the regular season games live on the web at 12.tv. Follow us on Twitter at 12 Sports for game information, plus all the local sports highlights. Catch it all this spring on Channel 12. Our game of the week is a third-round winners bracket game in Section 5 3A softball with teams to be determined. That's Thursday at Rice Creek Park in Shoreview. Watch it on Channel 12 Friday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 10 a.m.
And that will do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for watching.
It's a busy week ahead with section softball and tennis and more. We'll see you next week starting Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, here on Sports Jam.